Welcome to today's event. We're excited to talk to you all today. To kick it off, since you guys are on time and we want to respect your time today, my name is Justin Obey. This is Eric Benz, and we are both with Fox Hill Wealth Management. We're based just outside of Boston. Is anyone in Massachusetts? You can just raise your hand or in the chat. Where are you guys all coming from? I'd love to know. Just throw it in the chat real quick. Where are you all coming from today? Alabama. How's it going, Yolanda? Shout out to Alabama. Where else we got? Michigan. Okay. All right. Awesome. Okay, so really, retirement is a hot topic. It's really important. Everyone's worried about it. The reason why we have this is because we want to talk to more and more people, help them with their retirement needs. We want everyone to have a comfortable retirement. And it's a personal topic. It is very unique to your situation and your lifestyle. So it's really, people are feeling behind today's economy. Consumers are spending less. It's getting hard out there. Prices are up. So retirement is being ready in retirement so that you're not feeling the pinch is really important. So today, what you can take away from today's call, we're going to go through calculating your retirement saving goals, how to calculate exactly what you need during retirement, avoiding common retirement planning pitfalls, what mistakes that we've seen commonly made, and maximizing your retirement savings. So tax strategy, common withdrawal, like tax efficient strategies to withdraw your retirement savings, and creating that strategy and overall plan to make sure you're good to go. Before we get going, I just want another quick poll. I told you this is going to be interactive, so bear with us. How many of you feel you're on track right now? Just raise your hand or send it in the chat, yes or no, throw it in the chat. If you feel like you are comfortable and you're good to go with retirement, throw it in the chat. Feeling good. Who's feeling good? VK, Yolanda. Why? Okay, no, not feeling good. All right. And that's hopefully by the end of this conversation, we're all feeling good. So this is the reality of retirement in today's world right now. So the average balance for someone under 25, they probably have $7,300 right now in their retirement savings accounts. So that could be investment accounts, various accounts. The median balance is much lower, so it's really quite shocking, the medians versus the average balances. But over 20% of Americans today over 50 have zero retirement savings. Again, this is why we put on this presentation. We're probably doing this once a month. We really want people to have a comfortable life if they do want to retire. Some people don't want to retire. Yeah. So we talk to clients all the time, right, Eric? And they're like,
yeah,
I have no plans of retiring. I just like working. And that's totally cool. But should you want to retire, we want you to have a comfortable one. At 65 plus, the average balance for most people are $272,000, which I don't know how you interpret that.
Well, and since that's the average and the median's much lower, you know that there's a small portion out there with millions in retirement that are pulling up the average.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think if you want, the first step is really to make sure you're automating this, right? So if you want to we'll get into the calculation a little bit, but we want to make sure you're not having to worry about the actual mechanics of the just saving and investing. So we'll talk about that as well. So obviously that's why we're doing this. We're really not okay with these amounts. We think you should have more, and we want to help you get there. So we believe that retirement planning is more important than it's ever been before. Again, Eric and I mentioned the today's economic environment. Obviously, inflation has been a hot topic in the past few years. The combined inflation rate of the past 4 years is like 20%. It really hurts people who are saving. If you are investing or you own assets, hopefully you haven't been really hurt by that. But if you're saving right now, you're really taking it on the nose. So yeah, it's tough. the everyone is living also, just generally speaking, people are living longer, right? So overall, there's an increased need for savings. At the same time, you have rising healthcare costs. So with living longer comes more costs for healthcare. And then Social Security, we don't know right now. It's projected to be depleted by 2035. So we don't know how long that will last. I'm sure the government's going to figure it out. But as of right now, it's not a certain thing that you can really rely on. So as you're listening right now, like, write down your biggest concern about your retirement. Just write it down, save it to the end. Just have a piece of paper. More people coming in. Kathleen, welcome, welcome. All right, welcome, Kathleen. It's good to have you. So Social Security, there's no guarantee. Ongoing tax revenues are expected to cover approximately 83% of scheduled benefits. It's leading to a potential 17% reduction in benefits if no legislative action is taken. So it's a big deal. Hopefully the government figures that out. But yeah, Eric, your big concern is not being able to live comfortably. I get it. It's I think we're all
Yeah, I don't
like
want to
that.
change my lifestyle in retirement. That's usually people's big concern.
Yeah, right, exactly. All right, so this is an exercise, and Kathleen, we're glad to have you here for this exercise. So I really want you, so there's 3 pillars of retirement readiness, okay? And this might sound, I don't know if this sounds obvious to you, but it's savings and investments, right? So how much do you really need during your retirement years? It's going to be your income planning. So where is the money coming from? What income streams do you have that will cover your expenses? And then your risk management. So how do we protect those assets throughout? And the protection would be from an estate planning perspective, as well as a tax perspective. So we're going to jump into this quick goal setting exercise. I think it's very valuable. But just close your eyes for a second, okay? In about when you are in your retirement age, maybe that could be a few years off, that could be 10 years away, or whatever your situation is, your goal, where are you living? Okay. And what does your typical day look like? What are the goals that you want to have from a daily, weekly, monthly perspective? What are you doing? What are the activities? Are you playing pickleball with your friends? Are you golfing? Maybe you don't need any of that, right? Maybe you're just enjoying, maybe your thing is a hot cup of tea and a good book, right? So everyone is different. And so write these things down. It's like a dreamlining exercise. Okay, so what are the things that you need to enjoy your retirement and have a comfortable retirement? It could be little things like taking the grandkids to a movie, maybe once every month or once a quarter, okay? Or being able to celebrate birthdays. What kind of home do you have? Okay, are you downsizing? Are you living in a lavish estate? Who knows? But what kind of lifestyle do you want to maintain? Okay, so all these come to a big part. This is what makes up how much money you'll need. And I think there should be, in this goal, you might want to have 2 columns here. You might want to have realistic goal, like attainable, I know I can do this. And then maybe there's a dream line of like what I really want to achieve. Because I think that's good too. It never hurts to have big goals. So then step 2, we want you to really, okay, so taking both those columns, okay, so your housing, utilities, your food and dining, how much rough estimates, and you can go back later after this. So right now, I just want you to write down rough estimates of what all that costs. So it's like back of the napkin math here, back of the envelope math. Housing, what is your monthly mortgage payment, rent, taxes, approximate in that dreamline scenario? Your food and dining, okay, so are you eating out a lot? Or is it simply groceries? What is that going to be? Travel, leisure, healthcare, insurance, other personal items. Just take that and you're going to multiply that by 12 to get your annual needs. Okay, and by now you hopefully have a ballpark estimate. And this is stuff we do with our clients all the time. We have a much more sophisticated piece of software that helps us with all of this to give you How many projections can we give someone, Eric? Like
Infinite. It also, it's very robust. The tool we use plugs in all retirement assets, gets all your expenses, everything.
Yeah.
So we can run a lot of different retirement projections.
Yeah. So this is like a down and dirty version here. So we're going to do that. So take that annual amount, both in your realistic goals and then your dreamline goals, and multiply. You can either do one of the. It's the same. You're going to multiply it by 25, or you can divide it by 0.04, and that's going to give you a ballpark. For example, say I've decided I need $100,000 per year to live. So if you need 100,000, just ballpark numbers here, 100,000, you're going to need approximately 2.5 million saved. And then we want just how much you have saved today. Write that down as well. Okay, so you can go to our website. There is a retirement calculator that you can use. If you go to foxhillwealth.com, there's a retirement calculator. We'll also send you a compound interest calculator that you can use to see your current investments and how that might go up. But Eric, why don't you explain the 4% rule? Why do we divide it by 0.04 or multiply by 25?
Yeah, it's just it's been used for years. Factoring in Social Security, whatever you need on top of that, you can take 4% out of your portfolio a year to cover your expenses, and your assets will still maintain their value or grow. That being said, so like we still have plenty of clients that'll take 10% of their portfolio a year, something along those lines. But knowing that, hey, the value of it might go down if the stock market doesn't make up for it. So the reason that the 4% rule exists is it's a safer method for financial planning, right? You can typically take more, but we know if you're only taking 4%, the account will still continue to grow. An example, let's say you need 50K a year in expenses, multiply that by 25. That means you need 1.25 million in order to take that 4% out on an annual basis.
Yep.
Yeah. Anything else to add, Justin? Or should be good?
No, I think the 4% rule is a conservative, right? So
yeah, very conservative. We have plenty of clients that take much more than that. Or we have some clients that take less, right? If they're relatively frugal and responsible spenders, and their Social Security covers a lot of their living expenses.
Right. Right. And then on the same side, like on the investment and the income streams, you might be having a lot more money coming in during your retirement years. So again, it's the 4% rule is a baseline. And that's why it does make sense to really talk to an advisor to get really down into the details of your particular situation. So today we're really, it's an overview to really give you a framework on how to tackle this if you are working alone. But it is it's a standard rule to go by if that's all you have. Social Security is a big topic. Is anyone in the chat? So just say yes or no in the chat if you are already claiming Social Security right now. Maybe you're claiming early. Maybe you're already retired. I have no idea of everyone's situation. BK, you are not. All right, cool. Thanks, Yolanda. So we have, Eric, I love it.
Yeah.
You're going to wait till your full retirement. Okay, that's smart.
Yeah, so at least right now, who knows? Maybe I'll get burnt out. I plan till working till full retirement age, but who knows by the time I get there what full retirement age will be. It might be more like 69 or 70 if they keep pushing it up, if lifespans keep going up.
Yeah. Yeah, and that we'll see. But a lot of people ask this question, when do I take Social Security? And so we wanted to really cover this in depth.
Yeah.
Eric, why don't you take it away?
Yeah, like Justin said, super common question. It's actually very important. So for most people, that full retirement age right now is 66, 67. That's when you can get your full Social Security benefit. You have an option to take it earlier at like age 62, for instance. However, if you decide to take it earlier, that's going to reduce your benefit 30%. So if your full retirement benefit was like $2,000 a month, let's say, and that's if you take it at 66 or 67. If you take it at 62, that benefit's only going to be $1,400 a month.
Yeah.
And that's what you get the rest of your life, right? It'll go up with inflation, but your benefit's been reduced 30% overall. If you delay taking your Social Security to like age 70, you'll actually increase your benefit annually, and it'll turn out to be $2,480 a month in this instance. So there's benefits to each. If you're going to continue working till age 67, you should delay taking your Social Security as long as possible, because it will reduce your overall benefit, that income you get. The other thing too, which we have some clients do, plenty decide to take their Social Security earlier, they're retiring early. They're like, hey, I'll just take it at 62. The other reason being that they think their investments will outpace that growth rate of their benefit. So if they think their investment account is going to make more than 8% a year, there's an incentive to actually take your Social Security benefit early so that you can keep your investments growing and not take money out there. We have some clients, on the other hand, who are more conservative. They'll actually wait, take money out of their investments, and take their Social Security benefit later, taking that guaranteed 8% growth in the Social Security benefit. That's a discussion. It's different for everybody. There's pros and cons to each scenario. So definitely recommend talking to your advisor before you decide when you're going to take your Social Security. You don't want to erode that benefit by taking it too early when you're still working. That's an important thing to remember.
Yeah, and that's really key. And feel free to ask other questions as well. Eric, this is just, I guess, dive a little deeper here. Can people work while they're collecting spousal and survival benefits?
That's the thing, right? Is the reduced benefit if your earnings are over that 22,000 mark. So that's when you're taking it. You decide to take your benefit at age 62, but you're still working. Benefit gets reduced. So you want to wait till that age 66, 67. So yeah, important to remember that. We've seen clients take it early, not realizing that we're still going to get income. It's W-2 income, by the way. Other thing to note,
it is taxable as of right now.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. Other thing to note is if you had a spouse who's like a high earner over their entire lifetime, like earned a significantly more than you did, you can claim their benefit and get 50% of it. So we see that happen often.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into it. So we're going to do a quick game. Claim now or later. Feel free to blur this out. You can unmute if you're muted, but let's see if you guys were listening. All right, or you throw it in the chat. Okay, so first scenario, we've got the early retiree. John is 62. He just retired, but has a pension covering his expenses. What should he do? Should he start claiming now, Social Security, or later? Anybody? You guys are shy today. A little quiet. All right. So John's definitely should wait. Okay. Okay. VK says depends on their health. Yolanda later. Yeah, I think so. Generally speaking, he's gonna. There's no immediate need. He's got the pension covering expenses, so we want to have him wait to get the most benefit. So if he will get a much larger benefit later if he waits. All right, so Suzanne, she's 65, has a small benefit, but her husband's full-time retirement age benefit is $2,500. What do we think? Here we go. What do you think?
So the assumption is his is like significantly more, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's not clear. Sorry. Any guesses? What do we think? Yolanda, again, later. We will see. Should have a prize at the end of this.
Yeah.
All right. They really should claim, right? So claim the spousal benefits now, 50% of the husband's right now, since she is 65. And then the next scenario we have for you guys, still working professional. So 63 years old, still earning $90,000 a year, really great salary, and considering claiming early. So again, this is a no, right? VK is on the money. Thanks for participating, VK. No, earnings limit would reduce the benefit. So making $90,000 a year is great. Just keep working if that's your choice. If you have, depending on your situation, if you're enjoying your job, it's something to do, and it's a great salary, there's no harm, and you definitely can postpone that benefit if that's your choice. Again, retirement is so personal, so it doesn't it does pay to get into the details on that with an advisor. The last scenario, so someone said earlier, I think it was VK, depending on health. So Linda here, 64, has a health condition, doesn't expect to live past 75.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. I love it. You guys are really on the ball. You're listening. We want to, yeah, definitely claim early. It makes sense to take all those benefits right now. The next, Eric, dive into catch-up contributions. So a lot of people said they weren't comfortable with their retirement at the start of this. So what can folks do to catch up?
Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of incentive when you're 50 or older in this country. It's called catch-up contributions, which allows you to supercharge your savings in your retirement accounts. We see a lot of clients go through this, like, hey, I'm older now, I haven't really been great at saving throughout my life because I was spending on my house or education. Now those bills are gone. I want to focus on my retirement account. And they do catch-up contributions. So, for instance, like a 401k, normally you're allowed to do 23,000 a year into your 401k is what you're allowed to contribute, reduces your taxable income, and hey, you can push it right into savings, right? When you're 50 and older, you can do a total of 30,500 a year. Same thing with IRAs, right? Usually you can do 7,000 a year contribution into a regular Roth IRA. When you're 50 and older, you can add that extra 1,000 on top, so you can do $8,000 a year. And then HSAs, right? You can save money there. $5,000 a year if you're single, $9,000 a year for family if you're age 55 and up. Key thing here is it's never too early to start saving. And there's tons of advantages when you're 50 and older. You can start really putting money away and focusing on your retirement. We have a little note here. Even an extra $500 a month invested in a 401k for a span of 10 years at a 7% growth rate can add a total of $86,000 to your retirement savings. So that's the power of compound interest, getting it little pieces invested early. It adds up over the long run. Delay gratification now and you get rewarded much later.
Yeah, it truly is amazing. It makes me think I wish at 20 I was, or even younger, I was putting away serious money at a young age. When you start to learn about compound interest, it's incredible. Actually, Eric, what like backdoor Roths? Is that just real quick? Backdoor Roth IRAs. People can do that as well, I feel.
Yeah, we do that for clients. It's where you contribute to a regular IRA, you take the funds from that IRA and then contribute it into a Roth IRA. That's because there's income limits for contributing regularly to an IRA, to a Roth IRA.
Yeah.
So that's a way to get around that. I can't remember off the top of my head what the income limit is. I don't know if you know off the top of your head, Justin, but we do that often for clients. And that's specifically, it's great for high earners, or if you've contributed to an IRA your whole life, but you want to get some of the tax advantages of an IRA or of a Roth IRA, or it's a year where you earned less money.
Yes.
You might actually take those funds out of your IRA, pay the taxes, and put them in your Roth IRA. It's a little confusing, but it's something that'll benefit you years down the road when you need to take money out of that Roth IRA. You've already paid the taxes on them, and they've grown tax deferred.
Yep.
So that's the reason you do that. It's confusing. Talk to your advisor. They'll walk you through it and the logic behind it. We actually have like financial planning tools that will show you why that benefits you like 10, 15 years later.
And it's huge. Yeah. And that kind of just right into the withdrawal strategy, having a clear waterfall of the strategy so you're not getting taxed more than you need to be. So we always want you to keep as much tax as possible. In our opinion, we don't want anyone paying more tax at all. So we want you to, and that's how we protect your savings. You've worked so hard to get and reach your goals, and you have big goals. You've worked really hard. We don't think you should have to pay more taxes than you really have to. So is a couple. So this is also going over first, like where your money comes from. So like, sorry, I got excited about tax savings and strategy. So back up a second. So to meet our expenses, like where's the money coming from? Social Security is going to be a piece of it. Your 401k, IRA, whether that's a traditional IRA or Roth, taxable investments that you have, rental income. You might have some real estate that you're getting rental income off of. You might have part-time work during your retirement years. So a lot of people will do that. It keeps them active. It gives them something to do. It could be a part-time job. There could be passive income as well. So there's a lot of options on the table for finding different income streams during retirement. There are a lot of common withdrawal mistakes. Okay, so this is where the piece of it. The biggest one we see is not having a plan, right? So there's no strategy, and you're just saying, all right, cool, I'm gonna pull from this account because it's there. Not really thinking about the taxable events that happen. Also, you have to take into account what your annual income is for that piece. So another example of a common mistake is that you're going to have, so the tax strategy piece is a big one, and then not having enough cash, immediate cash. So say you are still investing, we want you still invested in the market throughout retirement, but we want your immediate short-term needs covered. Okay, so not working with your advisor on that and being short. So say there is a downturn in the market, right? And there's corrections that happen all the time. We just have basically, we're going through one right now. We want our clients to be safe in the short term so that they don't have to sell at a loss from their investments, and they can stay, their life is unaltered, it's completely fine. They can stay invested in the long run in the market because then it will continue to go up and over time. So making sure you have cash on hand to avoid having to withdraw your investments during a bear market is really important. We also want, again, we already covered that, but making sure you're full-time age, maximizing Social Security and pension benefits at the most. And then we want you to withdraw from tax. So this is important. So a 401k, IRA, even if you don't need the money, withdraw from those tax deferred accounts once you turn 73. Okay, but you have to watch out for a large withdrawal can push you into a higher tax bracket. So again, there's a lot of strategy in this that could, if you get into a higher tax bracket, that can affect your Medicare and how much you're paying for that. So you can consider Roth conversions before 73 to reduce the required minimum distributions later and then smooth out all tax liability at a time. Eric, do you have anything to add to that?
No, that was excellent.
All right, great. And then again, this is another personal situation, but just on average, what do you guys think so the rising cost of healthcare is real. It is happening. It's going up more than inflation, believe it or not. So currently, the average cost of healthcare in the US for retired couples is how much? BK, Yolanda, you guys have been the most active. What do you think?
Oh, do you want to give them options?
Oh, sorry.
This is for
I
a
forgot.
20-year period, right?
So over a 20-year period of the average retirement period, okay, do you think it's A, $75,000, B, $210,000, C is $315,000, or D, 500,000 and over? What are we thinking? So it goes 75,000, 210,000, 315,000, and 500,000. All right, so if you're, oh, VK says 500,000, awesome. Yolanda, C. All right, so Yolanda wins. She's on the right on the money. So 315,000 is today's what the average retired couple is spending during retirement. So it really pays, if you're young, it pays to be healthy and invest in health. Health is wealth. So
Yeah.
the expression is so true. But there's Medicare, there's parts of in Medicare, Medicaid, if you don't qualify, if you need assistance, different drug plans that you might need. And then there's long-term health care. So like your home health care, there's assisted living, nursing facilities, memory care, God forbid, you have Alzheimer's or dementia. But really, right now, if you're planning for retirement, we want to consider opening a health savings account. And a health savings account, if you're still working, ask your employer about that. That's going to be a triple tax benefit to you. And then budget for out-of-pocket expenses. So that's another big piece. but we can get into this later, but it's really, if you're a veteran, you have VA aid, but there's a lot of pieces for the healthcare plan that you should put into your plan as well. Your plan also just, it should cover inflation. So just assume like a 3 or 4% inflation rate over the term. So as you're calculating your retirement.
Right.
But Eric, dive into diversification. It's super important.
Yeah. And this is something we do as a firm is we do asset management for clients and we'll diversify their portfolios for them. There's different ways of doing that, and it all depends on someone's financial plan, their long-term goals. Modern portfolio theory is you're going to have your stock investments, some bonds, alternatives, cash on the side that's there for different living expenses that might come up. We have a lot of our clients at least have 3 to 6 months living expenses saved up. We want them to have that in case of an emergency. For some that are retirees, they might have a little bit more. And then we also have clients who talk to us like, hey, I might be buying real estate in a year or two. I have this vacation expense coming up. We'll put that on the side in like short-term treasuries, which are incredibly safe, or other vehicles that are very safe. We have other clients who have retirement accounts with us, and they say, look, I'm not going to touch this account for at least 10 years, right? 5 to 10 years, 10 plus, whatever it is. Those guys might be in an entirely stock portfolio. They know they're not going to need that money. They're comfortable with the ebbs and flows of the market, and they're going to let it do its thing and grow, right? Because they want it to beat inflation and they want the principal to grow so that they have extra money when they retire. So we see tons of different strategies, tons of different scenarios. We customize it for all our clients because everybody's situation is unique. Everyone's got a different risk tolerance. People need money at different times in their life. So that's what we're there to do. We're there to diversify and customize. Key takeaway, portfolio should grow and then protect your wealth for those short-term needs. And that comes about, we know what to do from conversations with our clients.
Yeah. So really, that kind of wraps up everything that we have for you today. We really want to take, this is a takeaway we want you to leave with today. The most important being like decide today and write it down right now. What is the one action step you're going to take this week to get on track with your retirement, right? So if you're feeling off track, you're feeling behind, what is the one thing you're going to change? If you're already good, right? Maybe you're going to define your retirement income goal, talk to an advisor, review and adjust accordingly. Like if you're feeling comfortable, what are the things you might add to that, right? How are you going to get further ahead? If you're feeling comfortable on your own retirement, there's other things to consider. So like a lot of people start to talk about legacy. So how are they going to help the next generation or their grandchildren, should you be so fortunate? So there's a lot of that gets into generational skipping. There's tax strategy there, estate planning, trusts and wills. And that's something we'll probably save for another presentation. But if once you're ready to go for retirement, you start to think about all these different things. Do you have any questions at all? Like now's the time to speak up. We're happy to take any questions live. We're also going to offer free personalized retirement strategy sessions to everyone who joined the call. If you schedule the next 5 days, so we'll be sending out an email to everyone who is right now on the call. If you do want, you can sign up with Eric or myself. We'll send you a calendar link as well. And then play around with the retirement calculator. It's free to use. It's on the website right now, but it is fun to play with. You can do different scenarios. It's a basic kind of rudimentary calculator, but it does work well for different situations.
Yeah. And just so people know, we're a full service firm. So we do retirement account management, we do the financial planning, and we have an estate attorney on staff who can generate trust documents, wills, all that kind of stuff. So if anyone's interested, Justin will have information for how you can reach out.
Yeah. Any questions at all? We'll kind of hang out for a little bit. It was great having you all today. I'm really excited that you all joined. Thank you for joining us and taking the time out of your day to be with us. I hope it was helpful. I hope you took value from it.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks a lot. I guess no questions. We covered it all.
So good at your job. There you go.
Yolanda, thanks for being so active. It was great. Great to have you.
Yeah. Same to you, VK.
And that's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, little bits a month. That's it.
Yeah. I think just having a plan, setting your goals, and starting on that is like a huge first step. And then just austerity, right? Like living below your measures and socking away as much money, but having that invested.
Yeah, a lot of
Really
some of
important.
our bigger clients are they're just amazing savers. It's not even that they might not have made as much as other clients. They're just very consistent savers, and yeah, I don't know. They're able to delay gratification. So it's amazing. I'm not one of those people. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. There's a lot to be said to having putting off. You don't need a new car every year.
Maybe delay the Disney vacation 1 year. I don't know.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. Life's too short though. Life's too short.
It's all about balance. All right. Well, then it sounds like there's no questions. Thank you again for joining us. And please reach out if you have any questions. Take care, everybody.
Last time.